anymore. I think that means we're back in business. It's been a week since my last transmission. A storm came in and knocked over my antenna, so I had to climb up on the roof and fix it. Nothing broke, but I had to stand it back up and turn it around and everything. As good as this place is built, it's still a risk getting up so high without anyone else around if I fall. I've been thinking a lot, especially when I walk up to town, about how weird this all is. Just a year ago, I was studying for tests, riding around on the city PRTs, working part-time in a bagel shop. When the summer storm started and we lost contact with the rest of the city, the upper levels, I knew I had to get out. The local neighborhood banded together, sure, and I'm sure I could have joined in, but without the news or the reports coming in over the stations, it felt like something big was about to happen. About 2 days after the first really bad storm, I jumped a train and hid underneath a stack of cranes for something like 2 or 3 hours. I'm surprised I only had some bruises and what I suspect was a broken rib. Cracked rib, maybe. I rolled off before we could even reach the border since I didn't know where we were and I didn't want to end up in the wastelands. Sure, shit's bad here, but out there it's even worse. Tornadoes and dust storms that blow through at more than 100 miles an hour just aren't my thing. I'd rather deal with the summer storms and the contaminated water. Plus, I'm super lucky, right? I was just walking along the old road and found this place, then found town up a bit further. The river bloats, sometimes floods, but I'm up high enough that it doesn't hurt anything. Whoever built this place was smart, and I'm more than happy to reap the rewards of their planning, even if this wasn't exactly what they planned for. I actually did go into town this morning. With just me using up the resources, it's not too bad. The corner store has enough aspirin and cough drops to last a whole neighborhood a lifetime, so with just me, that makes healthcare easy. There are snacks there too, old ones though. Pine nuts and chips are fine, but most things that were refrigerated have gone bad. I try to dump out the old drinks and stuff so they don't stink up the place. The last thing I need is an angry black bear rampaging through town. I brought some little things home. Popcorn that I'm going to make over the induction burner, some mini donuts for dessert, and a bottle of red Gatorade. I save these kinds of things for the weekends, so things feel more weekendy. I don't think that's a word, but who's going to tell me I'm messing up the English language? Nobody's even out there listening to me. While I was in town, I thought I heard a car, but it turned out to be this massive swarm of bees down in one of the old houses just off the main road. I thought about going to investigate, but I'm pretty sure I'm allergic to them. The pharmacy in the corner store has EpiPens, but I haven't found one that isn't expired, and, well, dying from a bee sting after making it out of the city seems anticlimactic. If I'm going to die out here, I'd rather it be from anything else. Ending up as a Stay Puft humanoid blob isn't all that cool. It sounds like an awful death regardless. can't remember the last time I actually saw, like, a real car. In the city, the only people with cars were first-ring officials. I didn't drive anywhere but the first ring, so I only ever heard them in passing. I wasn't even technically allowed in the second ring, but I had a pass because of school. They never thought to edit my access once the university closed, but it was good to get out of the neighborhood every once in a while. That was where I hopped the transport train. In the second ring, they kept all the industry and education quarters. It was almost too easy to get on once I actually made it there. There weren't any guards or cameras on the track, so I just sort of made a run for it. I don't even know if the transporters are driven by real people anymore. With all the automation in the last 5 or 6 years, I wouldn't be surprised if they just type in a code or something and off the train goes. Anyways, I'm just hoping these next few storms pass through without doing too much more damage. Fixing the antenna is easy enough. A risk, sure, but it doesn't require any kind of real knowledge. I'm worried the roof will tear off, or maybe the river will make its way all the way up here. I know I should start planning or trying to plant for the winter, or maybe I should take up in one of the old houses closer to town. It's weird, though. I feel like I can't leave this place. Like, somehow it was meant for me to find. I know that sounds crazy. And believe me, I know crazy. I'm holed up in a fancy shack right by a river and God knows where nuts. I've been trying to transmit over different channels to see if I can find anyone else out there living off the land and surviving. Every once in a while I catch a city trans and sit through it. Even if it's bullshit lies. They're trying to say that we're defectors, that the lower neighborhoods are dangerous, filled with crime and drugs. To be totally honest, I don't even really know what drugs are. I think maybe they're using old words for maskers or bangers, but I have no idea. My degrees weren't in socioeconomics or history. It doesn't matter. What does is that I'm here and I'm waiting. I can share the powerhouse with 1 or 2 more people. So if anyone can hear me, reach out. The cities aren't safe, and not because of the neighborhoods. I don't know what's going to happen, or even really what has happened since I left, but I can promise you one thing. Something big is coming. Listening out. 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 Something big is coming.